Hello, my name's Tim, and I'm doing a GoFundMe campaign. Now, recently, I decided that I was going to write a book, and so I bought some things that will help me with this. One of the things I purchased is this wonderful machine right here. It's a Canon Imagiprograph IPF 780. Beautiful machine, wonderful machine. I also purchased this, which is a Nikon D200, and also a telephoto lens. Really beautiful, really beautiful. Love it. Here's the, super nice camera. Love this camera. And then here's my little workstation over here for writing my book. Got my little HP 4100E. It's a good little printer. Just bought it. And my laptop and my bike parts back there. I don't have much space, so now here's what I exercise on. My wonderful Kona that I just put together not that long ago. I put it together like a month ago. Nice, really nice bike. Took me a while to get it together, but I finally did. And then so here's some of my artwork. There's well, you know what that is, of course. Quite a bit. I used to paint a whole bunch. I'm not painting so much anymore. I'm really focusing on my book now. And there's a self-portrait. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. I like that one. Here's some other stuff up here. There's my roommate, Mickey. My first oil painting ever. I thought it was going to be fairly easy because I watched my father oil paint my whole life. And then once I started, I was like, oh yeah, that's not easy. It's really difficult. It's kind of a psychedelic one there. And then the first thing you saw was Seattle out the window there. So anyway, let me get some of the video here. Get to what I get my little. Actually, I wrote it down. I wrote it on my laptop and then printed it out. So let's see here. I'll find me a little spot to put my camera up, and I'll start. I'll just show you. How about if I show you Seattle? So anyway, thank you for following your curiosity. If in fact you got one of the flyers that I handed out on the street. My name's Tim, and I'm a 52-year-old recovering addict. Not long ago, I was homeless, actually living in a tent on Western near the ferry docks in Seattle. If you know Seattle, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you probably remember even seeing the tents out there. So yeah, if you're like me, you walk past the homeless and at times are very disgusted. I know I am sometimes. I do believe that an immediate response like that is very common, but after you walk around a while and get a chance to observe the true depth of the issue, you'll likely adopt a perspective a little more sympathetic. What I witnessed as a resident of downtown Seattle was huge amounts of grief and alienation. Anyway, anyone that has experienced feelings of alienation and being alone would agree it is a horrible feeling. Those of you that have watched a child, if you watch a child try and gain the attention of a parent, you will recall some fairly drastic tactics employed that child in order to receive that so needed attention. That attention really is required in order to grow into a mature, emotionally healthy adult. Really, and the attention is one of the main things that tells a child they have worth. Like I will pay attention to you because you possess qualities worth paying attention to. And really, I feel like without this, a child will not develop healthy ideas of self-worth or confidence. I truly believe that is a lot of what we witness in the homeless and addicted on the streets. Can you imagine sitting on 3rd Ave with hundreds of people walking by, ignoring you, sneering at you, or even calling you nasty names day after day? I'm an artist and a writer, and after being clean and sober for several months, as well as having a place to live, a roof over my head, I've decided to write a book. I've been an artist since the age of 9. I have been writing poetry since about 13 or so. With my years of addiction and homelessness, as well as my talent, I felt as though it would be a waste if I didn't do something with that. So what I'm doing with it is writing a book about homelessness and addiction. The title of the book's going to be In the Midst of a Storm. It's my hope to bring the reader a perspective maybe not considered previously, a perspective from a more maybe empathetic view. Now I'm sure from the frustration you experience, from the rotten, filthy shit, excuse my language, you're a witness to on the streets. I promise some of those people are seriously in need, and I know they really don't like what they are, but don't quite know how to go about changing. And there is an element out there that's a criminal element, just running from the law and getting what they can get. I really believe that, as hard as it may seem, with some attention, inclusion, and direction, some of the homeless will accept and utilize our help. A year ago, I was living in a tent with active opioid addiction, not having a clue as to what I was going to do. I was frustrated and I felt hopeless. All I knew was I didn't like my life, and I really wanted to change. I have mulled over and over and over the depths of my disclosure. I was scared to, run people off because first impressions and so forth. However, I believe that there is a God, and I also believe my God wants me to be honest always. Since 2003, I was lost. I lost my business, the woman of my dreams, and pretty much my home and everything I owned, because I relapsed on opiates. I gave up. I have been in the depths of my addiction for nearly 20 years now. I almost died in 2017 with endocarditis and pneumonia. In 2015, I wrecked a car. Got in an accident and broke 8 ribs and punctured a lung, and then walked 3 miles to a phone. I have overdosed 3 times. I have Hep C. I've had it for almost 20 years now, and but recently I've gotten into treatment and I'm taking Epiclusa. I have about 45 days left of meds. Because I live in one of the greatest cities in the world, Seattle, with some of the hardest working, compassionate people on earth, I've received help from REACH. It's an outreach program. It wasn't, no pun intended. For housing and my addiction, I'm in a MAP program, which is a medically assisted treatment. I didn't necessarily like the idea of trading an illicit drug for a legal drug, but I must say it really has saved my life. I can now spend my days doing things, improve my life, like writing a book, focusing on my health, exercising, getting my life back. I love Seattle and Seattleites. Thank you. I live off a fixed income due to some health issues, but when I get on my feet and become physically healthy again, I'm going to drop my disability and start my own business again, like when I was younger. But I could not have done all that I have done in the last year without people like you, and God bless you. Just because I have very little money, I have been able to, even though I have very little money, I've been able to save for many months and buy necessary tools to write or produce a book. I bought a Canon Magicograph, that printer I showed you, a beautiful machine, a Nikon D200 with a beautiful telephoto lens, my little laptop, I showed you my little workstation, and I'm using it to write my campaign right now. And then that smaller HP 4100E. I also bought a 1999 Ford Escort. After the purchase of those items, my savings are completely tapped. I wanted to drive across our great nation and interview some homeless people, but and put their photos and put their own words in my book. So it was truly about homeless. However, since I'm a new driver in Seattle, I made a huge mistake and I parked in the wrong spot. The parking in Seattle is very confusing to me, and now my car has been impounded. So that is where my GoFundMe campaign comes in. It will now be very difficult for me to make a trip across our nation without a car. I was going to take a tent and camping gear and camp out with the homeless across the country. It will take me months and months to save enough money to buy another vehicle. So if anything I've said was heartfelt at all, I ask you, please help me get my car back. Please help me with this journey. I have tried so hard and sacrificed everything to write this book. I could have used my money or for many other things, like a really nice car or down payment on a piece of property. But that's not where my heart is. My heart is with the United States, and I'm American and damn proud of it. And I want to help. We live in the greatest nation in the world, and there's people out there suffering, and I just want to use my experiences and my talents to try and help them the best that I can. And so I have to admit, when the car got towed, I almost gave up, but I can't. So I ask you anything, $1, anything will help, please. And all those people I will be able to reach. I would really appreciate it if you could help me. Thank you. So I've never been good at asking for help, and so this is really difficult for me. But if there's any way you can help me with this, God bless. Thank you.